Welcome back. I'm MTG Joe. So we're back with some more Singleton. We've played a Simic brew and a Dimir brew. Simic went 4-0. The Dimir went 0-4. So we're at a 500 win pace. So I took a couple minutes just to throw together this list. So this is a Abzan Aristocrats deck. So for those who aren't familiar, Aristocrats is basically a self-sacrifice theme where you get value from your creatures dying. So our major payoff cards, if we can get them out, is Cruel Celebrant. So when a creature dies, your opponent loses a life, we gain a life, as well as Poison Tip Archer. Whenever an opponent's creature dies or ours, they lose a life. And then we also have Slimefoot, which kind of works the same way, but it's only for Saprolings. The rest of the deck, we have a bunch of Afterlife cards and like Orzhov Enforcer, Imperious Oligarch. We got stuff that can come back in Gutter Bones. We got stuff to draw cards when creatures die. We got payoffs in Alenda that gets really big and makes tokens. You have Teysa that doubles up our death triggers. Guardian Project, which is basically draw a card whenever you play. We have Viridian Arcbow that could kind of get us some more value. And then on the top end, we got like a Command the Dread Horde, Bolas Citadel to hopefully use some of the life we gain in the deck to kind of bring stuff back. We have Massacre Girl to wipe the board, Aketra and Bontu. There's a lot of fun things. Gruesome Menagerie, bring back some stuff from the grave. So it's basically like a Planeswalker theme, just like a lot of good green, white, black cards. And then kind of a pseudo combo, Massacre Girl wiping our board, getting a bunch of death triggers hopefully. And we'll take it from there. So we'll play some rounds with it. Let me know in the comments if you've been playing any really sweet Singleton decks. I love playing brews in this space. Reminds me a lot of EDH. So as we wait for the opponent to get started, I'm MTG Joe. On the channel, we play everything from Tier 1 lists all the way down to budget brews. Love me some budget decks. I'm really active on the MTG Arena subreddit, so if you ever want to swing by, we can chat some Magic. And if you can, a free and easy way to show your support to the channel is hitting that subscribe button. Costs you absolutely nothing, and it goes a long way to helping to continue to grow the channel. So this hand, I got my Cruel Celebrant, and I got my Sorin. And this is what we're working for, that Stained Glass Sorin. This turn, I'm just going to lead on the Isolated Chapel, in case we draw a green source. Line of Elf. Okay, Pelt Collector. Alenda's pretty good. We can start setting her up. So we really want to draw another land here. Our hand's pretty loaded with 4-drops. This looks like the mono green Stompy list, which is surprisingly pretty good. I'd probably just splash like red a little. With like Treasure Map, the duels, and then just play a really big Banefire. Mainly because, you know, when you can Banefire for 20, you Banefire for 20. Opponent's thinking about what play, so they have the Arcbow. So that should set them up for a later game, but it also makes it that they can attack this turn, which is good for us. Slow playing like crazy. Come on, buddy. Come on. Perfect. So we'll just pass the turn here. Next turn we'll send out Alenda, and then play out Ravenous Chupacabra. Interesting. They do it on the Pollen Bright instead of the Pelt Collector. This buys us another turn where they can attack. Sorin works nicely with Alenda, because if it dies, we can get it back. And then based on their board, we might be able to finale. Okay, so we hit a green source. Let's just set up a Lenda this turn. Oh jeez, this opponent. Just pass through our turn, see if it speeds things up. Just concede the game then, opponent, if you don't want to play. I like my hand, I want to play it out. This is a cool demo of the deck. Alright, so opponent's playing good cards. Yeah, we'll just Chupacabra here. Then trade it off if need be. We're also setting up if we can get a big enough board presence to have a Lenda die. And then Finality all the tokens away and get all the Cruel Celebrant triggers. Okay, so here probably let them attack for the turn. Okay, that gives us something to play this turn, which is good. So I'm gonna see if they block the Chupacabra. Because then we can Sorin it back and then kill Goreclaw. Because this gets Trample, which can push through damage. Okay, so this turn I'm just going to play the Oligarch out and pass the turn. So what we would have done is if they blocked this, we would have played Sorin, minus it, get Chupacabra back, and kill Glorkline.
I've lost so much already. I won't
Goreclaw, not Gorecline.
like a city brat.
Okay, so they'll get a card into exile. So here, gonna force their hand if they want to protect Vivian. This gives us a nice little bump. This does kill Sorin, which kind of sucks. But we can Findbroker back Sorin next turn. And Alenda starts getting pretty big. So we'll just end the turn. They got Incubation.
Tear it down. Tear it all down.
Alright, so we got our own Vivs. Let's attack twice in here. See if they want to block. They can block with Incubation and adapt it. which again I'm fine. Flashing Gigantosaur. Our opponent certainly came for style points. This has 3 things die, so Alenda gets to 7. Opponent's thinking about it. Whole bunch of triggers here. And let's just Findbroker back. Sorin. We can actually start doing loops where we Findbroker back Sorin, bring back the Findbroker, get back Sorin.
For the fallen.
So she can give reach. I'm gonna kill the Gigantosaur with Sorin this turn. I'll just block it with the spirit. Getting to the point where we can... Vivian's interesting. Shoot down her spirit. Nope. Digging for more action. Get a forest. They got Vivian Tron going on. Opponent's at 39 cards in library. Oh, they hit the Crawl Harpooner. This does make Alenda bigger. So I'll see here if they want to attack in with Gigantosaur. I'll block with the Findbroker. Get this up to 9 power. Like, this is just a big dummy, and Alenda's getting almost to the size where she can just easily trade. Got a lot of redundancy in the hand right now, which I like. Okay, we got Arcbow of our own, which is a nice follow-up play.
You should fear those born of darkness.
So let's get back Chupacabra. Kill you. I'm just gonna go face at this point. We're getting to the point where we can just win. This is cute and all, but I kind of want this to die at this point, so if they get something big out, it's fine. Plus we're gaining a 9 life on the backswing. I'm also going to play out the Arcbow just to get them to down tick on it. This opponent's been like crazily slow. Might be their internet connection, but like they have to block Alenda. They're dead if they don't block. Opponent's not letting us go for lunch. Okay, well, they kind of timed themselves out, but they were pretty much dead in this game. We'll take the win, get us a bit closer. Getting closer to that Samut, but I really want this Sorin, especially for this deck here. Run it back for a couple more. This hand does nothing, so we're gonna mulligan. This hand's a little bit better. We're gonna return the Orzhov Enforcer since everything else is castable. This London mulligan's actually pretty good. Just seeing like 7 cards. We'll Vivian next turn. Hopefully they don't drop a creature. Sweet. Do you have Dovin's Veto? Kinda wanted that more than Ajani. It would have helped us dig for creatures. Okay, so opponent's missing lands. Also missing black sources for Bolas Citadel, but if we could just gain a bunch of life with Ajani in the meantime, it'll be good. Okay, so I discard a Lyra.
Now do you see the benefits of peace?
Gives us something to start attacking with. Nah, they have Essence Scatter. It's fine. If they have like Baby Teferi or Narset, we can Prison Realm. Okay, so they hit that. They have Prison Realm of their own. So although our opponents stumbled, we didn't really apply pressure on them. They've had some timely counter spells, and drawing no black sources doesn't help. We do have an answer for their first threat. Scanta's pretty good for them. Okay. Prowler's a thing. Could ideally draw Black Source and drop down Citadel. Just gonna attack in. Insight, so they're back in this game. Because they're blue-white, I also don't want to overcommit right now. Chupacabra might be useful. They've discarded a Lyra, which I'm happy with. Fine Finality also is not much value here. Just keep poking away. The likely Insight here. We gain 10 life, so it's a couple free casts with Bolas Citadel. Just need to hit those black sources. It's the opposite of hitting black sources. So, it's not crazy value. but it lets us use our mana this turn, and it might also bait out a counter spell. Okay, Thought Collapse. No, all our black sources. You don't get rid of enchantments, right? Nope. I need you, Swamp. So now we're actually 2 black sources away from the Citadel. And Baby Teferi. That is gross. Now we'll play out a Lenda. You got an Absorb for me? So here they'll likely Baby Teferi bounce. We're not really drawing card. Okay, so they have Kefnet.
Meditate and prepare.
And they have Mission Briefing. Okay, so... interesting nonetheless. So let's just try this. They've had tons of counters. No decks. We are pretty dead. They play Baby Teferi. We've drawn a ton of lands, just none of the lands we've needed. This starts making our Bola Citadel a lot worse, yeah. If we don't draw Black Source, I'm going to concede.
Show remorse. I'll show restraint.
Okay, gives us a small opening here. We'll see what they hit here. If they don't have a removal spell, going Teferi down tick. Big Teferi isn't that bad.
I'll protect you.
But they also can just Missions Briefing, Gideon's Reproach. They are going to have to discard unless they play something. Probably wouldn't make the worst to just put a counter on it. Or play a Zotalpa. Jeez. Alright, let's see what nonsense we can get going. Teferi. Taking over every format of all time. So we stumbled a bit. That's part of the problem with Singleton. You're not going to get the mana consistency you normally would. We probably should put an Evolving Wilds in this deck. Make that change after the next game. Sure. The theme of today is sure. Arcbro gives some late games, as long as we're not playing anything aggro. Command's a little slow. Might opt to bin it, depending on what our opponent's going to be doing. Because like for 3, we're probably not going to hit anything, and is it worth getting rid of? Okay, so now that we're not drawing anything, I think I'm going to do it. Probably get rid of Massacre Girl, is my guess. Alright, Kitesail, what do you want? Which of these fine cards would you like?
Curse. Ban your progeny.
and Pteramander. Okay, so we need to get up to Massacre Girl, and of course, why is this doing it again? Not hitting a land there hurts. Go to opponent's turn. So we want to try to get to Massacre Girl. She's our best chance of wiping this board state. They're not applying a huge amount of pressure, and they can't really get Arc Bow off the table without like blink of an eye. They're gonna take Massacre Girl. Oh, they take a Lenda. Seems like the wrong play. Okay, so we got a Priest. Still don't got mana, but we got a Priest. And if we draw a creature next turn, no, that doesn't even work because we gotta cast it. It's gonna say we can sack it to Priest. Gives them some removal targets they might focus their attention on. Land one time. Oh jeez, they've already got into adapt mana. Land. Okay. It's better than nothing. Slows the clock down. I'm going to take the Forsaken Sanctuary because it's a guaranteed land. We'll pass turn. Would have liked, obviously, if it came onto play tapped and it was a green source. But the way this game's been going, beggars can't be choosers. So they got Davriel. We're gonna drop the Findbroker.
Let's tidy up in there.
We'll see if they attack in this turn. Makes it a little more awkward.
Ugh, what a whiner.
I still think we just go like this. Poke in.
Rude.
So all I'm gonna do here is if they decide to do it, I'm gonna have to discard it. It's not the best. Oh, and they have Thief. We're like super dead. We've had two variants of Land Screw, which have not been great for the deck.
All I've left you is pain.
Ay, 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 ay. We don't really do much here. Oh, they have just 3 flyers in the air. I don't know what we hit, but let's see. It's something. Might buy us a turn. Draw some cards. Oh, but we're dead on upkeep anyways. Even if they attack with both. So long as they don't hit the Davriel. Because this does 2 damage to us. They just need to remember to attack with both. We'll see if they see the line. We're also dead to any sort of removal spell. Rough streaks. We had a slow player, all our white sources, no black sources. And now only needed to hit 4 mana and got our hands torn apart. Yeah, we'll keep this hand. We're missing white. It's part of the reason I'm not as fond of 3-color lists. Opponent is on mono white aggro. Slightly scary. I'm gonna use Vivian as a fog effectively.
Would you like to see what's left of scum? Starting over's the only way.
Orzhov Enforcer's pretty good. It's gonna be 2 blockers. Jeez. Opponent's got gas. If we can stay alive long enough till we hit this finality, but again, not getting there. Got Tithe Taker and Bodyguard. It's a very clean curve that they've had in a Singleton format. If they want to attack with just 1, I'm fine with that. That is keeping us alive. No blocks. White source. Oh, jeez. "24 lands should be enough for this deck. Why are we drawing all our top end?" Opponent's got a crazy draw. Okay, so here block here. Block here. That forces him to sack, so we only take 6 damage. Probably a turn too late. We gain 3 life. That puts us to 7. And we take 9. Hey Marcelo, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. We've been running into a little bit of a poor streak. Try going back at it. Variance is a hell of a drug sometimes, especially in a Singleton format without tutors. I'm gonna keep this hand because we have the 3 colors. I'm gonna lead off with the Sunpetal. We got Orzhov Enforcer, into play Crafter if needed. Last up Reaver is pretty good for them. Enforcer holds him back pretty well. Pretty aggressive line by the opponent. I'm gonna hold off on Plague Crafter. Just end the turn. Alright, so opponent felt our pain that game with mana. Our hand was gonna be pretty good shaping up. Take the win. Run back a couple more. This hand is weird, but we'll try it. Just get this going on one. If the opponent's got a slower hand, it can pressure him pretty well. Trying a double green 5-drop is not where we want to be. Green source untapped, please. Nah, at least we get that a lend on the next turn. We are pushing in some damage. Attacking first, just in case they want to use a removal spell here. Can tutor up something later in the game. That's a pretty cool animation. The Black Rose. Or the Dusk Rose. Should be Black Rose. Sounds cooler. This could be Grixis. Alright, so going nowhere. Missing green. I'm just gonna jam that Simic deck. That deck was the best. Okay, Prison Realm at least has text now.
You're just fuel for the fires of no fire, no steel.
Just get rid of secrets. We're not really on that plan. Get rid of Angrath. You know what? It's a green source. I'm not going to be picky.
I've weathered tougher storms than you.
Finality's not much worth here. To get back a Gutter Bones feels bad. Jeez. Alright, so Liliana's gonna probably take over. We do have the backside of Finality. We can leverage. What's her ultimate do again? Each opponent chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type, then sacrifices the rest. So they're going to blow up our lines. So Grixis Super Friends. And they got Sarkin. Alrighty. Green source. When they show the Sarkin. Oh, actually they exiled the Sarkin, but we're still too far ahead. We're going to be playing Leyline Prowler and just do nothing. Let's add in Evolving Wilds. Slimefoot's felt bad. Let's do what's it? Let's do an Adventurous Impulse. Get rid of a swamp. Let's try that out. Keep tweaking the deck, see how it goes. Probably run this as my last one for now, then I'm gonna go get some lunch. Okay, so this hand's obviously missing color mana, but our hand's all black, so I am not gonna be picky after the matches we've gone through. Here, let's play out the Enforcer, start trading early. So I'll probably start taking some hits. I want to get out the Midnight Reaper to draw cards. Hey Alvaro, Petitioners, we can try it out. Is it just like mono blue? Martyrs in. This card's actually really good. So this has got pro black. I'm actually gonna Chupacabra this because it makes our blocks a little awkward. And then we'll just no, I know with the Petitioners, Alvaro, like you usually put like 20 or so of them, but you can play mono blue, some of them maybe play black. Like for Ashiok or something. I actually like maybe splashing red for like, or even black. Yeah, black, then you could play a bunch of things. Okay, so what are you going to exile? We could do Priest. Do we want to sack anything? Just let it resolve. So I'm going to do one more turn, taking the damage, because we can play Midnight Reaper next turn. Gruesome Menagerie is actually pretty good next turn, because we block here, draw some cards, and then get them back. You're just going to poke in the air for one. That's right. Come on. Double attack. Block like that. So we'll get 3 card draws, take 3 damage. I'm gonna Gruesome Menagerie after for Massacre Girl. A lot of these tap lines feel bad. So get those back. Probably just throw it on the Tranquil here, because next turn we need to get more stuff in our graveyard. Creature-wise, though, we need to get to 5 creatures, which actually we're not going to be able to get to Massacre Girl. This isn't just straight Demonic Tutor. Okay, so they're the Mentor on top there. We'll take the 3 damage here. Because the next turn we have 2 to block. Maybe... yeah, I still have to block there. Ooh, Cruel Celebrant's really good here. Helps offset. I actually don't have a Journey to Eternity, Elvira. So I've kind of just been holding off on that one. Okay, so they're making that big, but Cruel Celebrant coming in clutch. And then we have Bantu afterwards. So we could Bantu. Not gonna hold off on Bantu. Maybe use it more as like a combo piece after. Should have started poking damage. So we gain a life, it dies. Oh, this is non-token, so we don't get the card draw. Flooding out a bit. So let's do you. Let's attack with everything. Punished! Cruel Celebrant comes down. Damn. Wasn't playing around that. That hurts. Two. What do you give? Flying First Strike, lifelink. Do like that. Yeah, we can Assassin's Trophy the Sky Marcher. Or let's wait till they're... We'll just end the turn. How many cards? 2. Let's get rid of Forsaken Sanctuary and Overgrown Tomb. Trustania be pretty good. No Ethereal Absolution. I want to keep the curve a little lower. Flying First Strike, lifelink. Cool. Assassin's Trophy. My top end of the curve is Bolus Citadel. The 3 black, cast stuff by paying life. And command the Dreadhorde and Liliana. Okay, we're in a good spot now. So here we can get death triggers, which doesn't do much. So probably just Anthem up our stuff. Smack in for a bunch. Okay, so they got Benelish. They can gain 2 life if they choose, but we got him. Nice comeback there. Alright guys, thanks for stopping in. I'm going to go grab some lunch. I'm going to hopefully be back a little later this afternoon. Probably finish up our Boros budget build series. We've played a couple lists of Singleton now. Thanks for those who tuned in, and happy Singleton playing, and have a great weekend otherwise. Thanks.